Welcome to Knife Thoughts. This video is going to be on this knife, and this is the Sencut Texo. And this is a new design from Ostap, and it is a little neck knife. So it's designed to be carried basically as a necklace. Comes with this bead chain. You can put it around your neck, carry it with the handle down, pull it out, use it, and then put it back in. Now, I did carry this as a neck knife some, and it's, perfectly fine as that. It's a way to have a knife on you really no matter what you're wearing. You can be wearing nothing and have a neck knife on you because it's worn like a necklace. So I do like that. It doesn't matter what clothes you have on, if you have a belt or anything like that, you can have this knife on you. But I never really loved the idea of when you're putting a neck knife back in its sheath, you're pushing it towards your neck. If you slip or something, not something you want to have happen is poking yourself in the neck or the face or something. So another way that I kind of envisioned you could carry this, and I did carry it a little bit, is using this bead chain as kind of a static line. So putting it through your belt loop and then putting the knife through there so that it holds onto the belt loop, and either just have it in your pocket so it's really low profile, you wouldn't be able to see much other than the chain itself, or in your fifth pocket, your watch pocket. And being that it is so slender, the sheath is so slender, it fit in my fifth pockets. So I think that's a good way to carry it also. And I wanted to mention that it does come with a nice lanyard. These lanyards that sometimes come with these Sencut knives are really nice. This is a nicely knotted lanyard, but I ended up taking it off just to make it really low profile. That said, with the lanyard on here, and it goes on nicely like so, you could put whatever lanyard you wanted. You could also wrap this if you wanted to put some paracord, get a little bit bigger grip. But the lanyard does kind of help you to get a purchase on it to pull it out. And then you can kind of have your pinky holding on to the end of the lanyard so you get a little bit longer of a grip area. Because it is a pretty small knife, pretty slender and small. So I think a pinch grip works best. It's pretty small to get like a hammer style grip, but like I say, you could put some cord on there if you wanted to. Now this is, I think, a good size to be actually usable as like an all-around knife, but still be small enough to be a neck knife or in your pocket, something like that. So another neck knife that I've carried recently is this Civivi Quick Snip. And this one is more like a, very backup to your backup, just cutting open a box or something like that. And, super, super low profile, but very small, and, maybe can't do as much cutting. This is a pretty good size for using. So, just to show a random example I have, this is a gradation cutlery slip joint, but you can see you get about the same edge. So if you're familiar with a gradation cutlery number 14, about the same amount of edge on the Texo here. So you do get a usable amount of edge. And like, for example, I was using this to cut up some chicken. I got some chicken on a stick with my son yesterday on a little walk, and it worked perfectly fine for cutting that up. I don't think that it's the thinnest grind in the world, or the thinnest grind that Sencut has done, just because it is a pretty slender blade. It's not a super tall blade, but it's thin enough to cut things well. You do your EDC tasks, cut some cardboard, open a box, cut some tape, cut a little bit of food, something like that, and work well. I like this blade shape. It actually reminds me quite a bit of the Insingo blade shape. So it's a little bit more slender, a little bit more pointy, but you can see it has that kind of modified Warncliffe style blade and the swedge, the point here. So, it's like a little teeny tiny mini version of the Insingo blade shape from Chris Reeve. So a very cool little kind of super low profile knife. It has an interesting aesthetic with the kind of intertwined looking handle here on the skeletonized full steel handle. And speaking of which, it's 9CR18 MOV steel, which is not a super steel, but it's a completely fine steel. It's not 4CR13 or anything like that I think gave those alphabet steels a bad name a few years back. 9CR18 MOV steel is fine steel. It's going to work perfectly well for the type of task that you would be using this knife for, and it's going to be easy to sharpen. Another thing I wanted to mention is that being that this is black washed like this, you don't have to worry much about corrosion, rusting, and so this could be like a knife that you wore swimming, something like that, where you're going to be getting in water and don't have to worry about it too much, and all for a pretty inexpensive price. So Sencut knives tend to be inexpensive. This one I think is going to come in just under or right at $30. So it's about as inexpensive as knives get these days, really. You don't find a whole lot of knives under $30 anymore. So you can get yourself a nice little well-made, well-designed, kind of nice looking, but small enough to be unobtrusive, but big enough to be used neck knife, or again, carry it as like a static line knife so that it's lower profile or more accessible right from your pocket. So this again is the Sencut Texo from Ostep Held Design. These are available now, so check them out. You can get them from Sencut or from Amazon. Those are both good places to get them, and I will have links in the description, so make sure you check out those links and use my code Knife Thoughts. I believe that it works at Sencut also. So thank you to Sencut for sending this knife along for me to check out and review. I have enjoyed it. And if you enjoy this type of video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and select all so you know when I post new videos. Check out my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife-related topics. And subscribe to the email newsletter. That's the best way to get all the latest knife thoughts. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.